Coming here at the Air Force Base here in Bloemfontein, you can see at the background there the parade is going on. Yes, indeed, as you have indicated, today 164 members of the SANDF will be honored and receiving those medals for bravery and the long service. We've just been listening to the preacher earlier on opening this ceremony, talking about this is more than just those long years that they have enjoyed, but they have enjoyed conditions where sometimes they find themselves in trenches without food, so they are being honored. And also this is a way of course, encouraging even those young ones who have really just joined the SANDF to be able to enjoy, because here it's different in terms of the fact that you are putting your life in line to protect others. But I am standing with Admiral Prince Tshabalala, who will talk to us more about this ceremony, what is it about, and the categories. Of course, he is the spokesperson of the SANDF. Thank you very much, Admiral, for joining us. Talk to us about what is happening today. We have heard more about them being honored for their bravery as well as their long service.
Indeed, today we are seeing soldiers, sailors, airmen and medics being awarded for long service, outstanding service to the country, with part of us instilling the culture of the military, which is celebrated worldwide, to honor soldiers in this manner. It is important that as a nation we always remember that these men and women are the only people that have signed in our constitution to sacrifice their lives for the country. These are patriots of our nation. So by demonstrating through this parade, we honor them and remembering their families and also their loyalty, how they've devoted their lives to the nation through fighting battles and being in the heaviest difficult situation where our members have to endure in defense on honoring the country's flag. So these military parades, they are the symbolism. That is the moment where we reflect back and say, men and women of the South African National Defense, it is time now where we reflect and honor you, and we dedicate this through awarding you these medals. To an ordinary person, these medals are insignificant, but to us, there is symbolism of our what do we stand for as a soldier in saving the country. We are going to give them their bravery, we are going to give them their 30 years and as well as their 40 years medal. This is just to say to them, thanking you and for your sacrifice, but also your family to be remembered when you are donning this uniform, that we are not wearing this uniform, but is to remind every citizen that we are a special person that has endured a hardship in behalf of the country.
And of course, some of them have already lost their lives in line of duty, exactly in that role, of course, standing and protecting this nation. I understand some of them will also, their families will receive those medals on their behalf.
Yes, indeed. Some of them will receive these medals posthumously because, even when a member is no longer there, but his family sacrifice a lot, and they obviously the ultimate sacrifice for a soldier is with their lives, and it is important that we remind their families that they shall always be remembered in the canals of bravery, and their names shall be inscribed in all the walls of memory of the SANDF. And now and then when we are honoring them, we also do commemorations in various places to remind the nation that there are men and women of this nation that has paid the ultimate sacrifice and ultimate prize with their own lives. And it is important now the nation also should regard these men and women as heroes and heroines of our nation.
Talk to us about what you are seeing. Actually, want to ask you so that we can, of course, explain what is happening. They are wearing different uniforms. Of course, there are different sections. Talk to us about what we are seeing right now.
Yeah, what we are seeing now, we have seen the first column brigade. This is a brigade that is marching here. The army is a leading service, as we know that they are the ground force, the land force that are the ones that are are always in the front line when we fight in battles. Then they are followed by the Air Force, who are defending their skies and making sure that our airspace is protected and well defended. What you can see here on your screens now is the SA Navy, who are the ultimate defenders at sea, who are the ones that are protecting our seas against illegal piracy. Then they will be followed by those who are rendering the medical side of things, the health services. These are the men and women that will make sure that even in battles when we fight, they are there to support their soldiers. There are also soldiers too, by the way. They are there to render that medical support. And it is important, as you can see, these young women and men of this nation, as they carry their weapon to tell the nation that they are ready, they are combat ready, and they are heroes of our nation. That is what this parade is all about, as beautiful as it is.
Talk to us about, a lot is happening, of course, before they are sent to represent the country, whether be in wars or wherever they are, where they are saving the country. But there's a lot of training that goes into it to prepare them. Talk to us about that.
Indeed. Any ordinary soldier, sailor, airman that you see and a medic, they go through a very, very tough, grueling training, starting with the basic military training, which is sometimes can go up until to 6 months. In fact, and then after that, they will have to do other specialization courses to prepare for them to be able to fight in any situation that you may enjoy. Those in the army, they will have to do a specialization training in battles, in also specialize as well in various scenarios. And in fact, as a member of the National Defence Force, we say we fight as we train and train as we fight. And this motto actually, it means that all our members are competent in their specialization, whether it be a tank driver, a ship combat officer, a pilot in the sky, a fighter pilot. We are competent in terms of our specialization, and we continue that with this training even when we are not in battles. That is part of our doctrinal approach to be combat ready to face any eventualities.
Talk to us about, we've talked about the long savers ones. You're talking about 30, 40 years who will be honored today. Talk to us about the category of the bravery. How are they being selected there? Because I understand with the long savers it will be you've been here for 30 yes. years, but bravery category, how are they being, chosen?
Bravery categories, it takes a long assessment. You must have fought in the battles and faced danger. The levels of the category of the danger that you enjoy and sometimes save your fellow comrades in the battles then determines, and there's normally a testimonials that have to be placed to testify that indeed you did those acts and you were not influenced, but you had no regard for yourself and for your lives, and you decided that you are going to do what you have to do at that spontaneous moment. That is the determination of how we evaluate whether you deserve the gold category, silver category, and that. But there's other categories as well, such as Protea gold, Protea silver, Protea bronze. Those categories as well is part of our categories of medals that we have here today, which then demonstrate meritorious service to the country, total devotion to duty, your sacrifice, and also how you have carried yourself obeying to the orders within your own command structures, and demonstrated the level of passion and ultimate soldiering, being above your own peers. That is what is being awarded today.
Talking about discipline, and just talk to us about what this is sending even to the young ones that we are seeing, some of them in the parade, in terms of them enduring in this service.
Yeah, look, for some of us here, we are staying with the long hairs because it's part of our military culture. It is a norm to be able to wake up in the morning, to be able to be obedient to your superiors, and it instills a personal discipline discipline because it becomes a lifestyle. Military is part of our lifestyle where we have to wake up at a certain time, eat at a certain time, be available at a certain time, and be able to execute orders as laid down either verbatim or through whatever communication is being said to you to execute this mission with exceptional. It sends a message to youth that South Africa needs disciplined youth that are able to fulfill any obligation, whether it be menial job or ultimate big jobs. Technology is also infused in the military side of things where we are, as you can see, the assets that are demonstrated you, they need you to be well trained and educated and specialized in your question. So the military is in a way a sense of bringing the discipline, and a nation that builds its military capacity stands a chance to survive in any eventualities. And you know, the youth, we say, they are the future of a country. We need disciplined youth. Hence, in other countries, they even have a national conscription to make sure that all their youth, they are tested through military training. First, to instill the character, the building, the nation, the ability to take obedience, particularly when coming to many situations. We need the nation that have a character, and that character, the people that will have character and a sense of loyalty and patriotism to the country must have been tested through the military regime.
Okay, just briefly as we close, what are we going to see after this in terms of the presentation of the medals?
What you can see now, all these men that are sitting here, they actually the recipients. So the chief of the South African National Defence Force, General Rudzani Maphwanya, will take the honor and bestow those medals in the chest of each and every member that has been going through the citations that has been evaluated by an independent committee. They will cite those medals to say and call them by name to say the country is recognizing you in front of your family, in front of the whole entire defense force and the public at large, to say when you don these medals, as you can see here, these are medals that are symbolism, that is the pride of the nation. There is no link with money here. To don this uniform, you must, it's a recognition from your peers, from your fellow countrymen, even internationally, to say those who are donning these medals, they've gone through the process and been tested. This is what these medals are saying to us.
Thank you very much. That is Admiral Prince Tshabalala. They're talking to us, of course, about what we are seeing here. Talking about also, Ayanda, those categories. It was interesting, especially when he was talking about the bravery category, that it is not just an easy process to be able to identify those who qualify to be honored in those categories, because you have to have been in battles, have had to stand out and stand for your fellow members and for the country, of course. But we will keep you up to date as to what is happening. Those who are sitting on my left, those are some of the recipients. I'm just going to allow my colleague to show you these ones, the officials that are sitting here. Those are the recipients of today's medal, which we are expecting today, of course, to see them taking to that podium to be honored for their service. Of course, as you have heard there, the spokesperson of the SANDF talking about they are actually training while they are working. It means that they are ever always ready, or rather combat ready every time. So those are some of the recipients who will be receiving those medals. Of course, some of them will also be honored for the long service, the 30 and the 40 years.